Imagine watering a pot of what looks like literal lawn clippings for 5 years.
Right.
And you're just hoping that one day this magical chessboard pattern flower is going to appear. Welcome to this deep dive, where we're exploring a gardening project that requires, honestly, half a decade of blind faith.
Yeah, it's a huge commitment. So we are heading onto the terrace of a gardener known as Tante Grun.
And nice.
And her friends, Kesser and Steen, are helping her take on this massive, really long-term replanting project. They are trying to cultivate a brand new generation of this very unusual flower called Fritillaria meleagris.
Okay, so right now, the blooming season for this flower is totally over. And what's left in the pots are just these long, withered stalks.
Yeah, they look a bit sad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're topped with these dry seed pods that look surprisingly like tiny tulips. So our mission today for you listening is to unpack the wild biology of this plant and see exactly how Kesser and Steen are using those seeds to build a new culture from scratch.
Because to really appreciate what they are doing, you have to picture the plant itself. It's a bulbous perennial in the lily family.
Which means it survives the winter underground as a bulb.
Exactly. Yeah, and it shoots up year after year. Visually, it is just striking. The petals have this highly distinct purplish red and white checkered pattern.
Which is wild.
It is. It literally looks like a botanical chessboard.
And the history is just as wild as the pattern, honestly. I mean, historically, the English called it the snake's head.
Ooh, catchy.
Right? It's also known as the chess flower, the drooping tulip, and wait for it, the leper lily.
Oh, wow.
Leper lily.
Yeah, which is intense. It got that name because its drooping bell-like shape mirrored the warning bells that lepers were once forced to carry around.
Wow, that is a beautifully morbid detail. But, ecologically, this flower is just a total oddball.
How so?
Well, it evolved to grow abundantly on European floodplains. It's actually considered really rare and is an introduced species over in Denmark, which is where Tante Grun's terrace actually is. Okay, that floodplain origin really stuck out to me.
Right.
Because, if a plant naturally thrives on flooded, completely nutrient-poor riverbanks,
Right.
putting it in standard potting soil on a dry terrace just seems like a total death sentence.
It absolutely would be without some clever chemistry. I mean, adult plants do love that nutrient-poor, moist floodplain environment. But the seedlings are a completely different story.
They need something else.
Yeah, to survive their really vulnerable early phase, those baby sprouts desperately need calcium.
Ah.
Because calcium is what allows plants to build rigid cell walls, and establish strong root systems. Without it, they just collapse.
So this is where Kesser's hack comes in. They are mimicking that specific mineral boost using literally breakfast leftovers.
Yep, crushed eggshells.
It's a classic gardening trick, but here it's absolutely vital. They are mixing those eggshells directly into the soil from mature bulbs and really heavily into the new seed-starting containers.
And Steen actually set all this up during the summer. He harvested those swollen, completely dry seed capsules from the withered stalks.
Oh, so he's planning ahead.
Exactly. He saved them specifically to propagate this new culture. The eggshells basically give those seeds the exact chemical scaffolding they need to survive outside their natural habitat.
But planting them is where the science gets super specific. You don't just, bury them in the dirt.
No, definitely not.
You have to sow them immediately after harvest or put the pots outside in the shade in January so they get hit by natural frost.
Yeah, because this relies on a biological process called stratification. The plant uses prolonged cold to chemically break the seed's dormancy.
Oh, so it's like an evolutionary failsafe.
Exactly. If they sprouted during a randomly warm week in autumn, the winter frost would just kill them. So the cold literally alters their chemistry, so they only wake up when spring actually arrives.
And once they do wake up in that porous soil, under 2 to 4 millimeters of fine gravel, you are in for a serious wait.
Oh, a very long wait.
The sources say these sprouts look exactly like basic grass, and they take 2 to 5 years to flower. I have to push back on this entirely.
Go for it.
You have to carefully weed and water a pot of lawn trimmings for half a decade without seeing a single bloom. The sources even warn you have to be super careful in the spring so you don't accidentally pull them up.
Yeah, they look like weeds.
Why not just buy mature bulbs and skip all the stress?
Well, because Buying a bulb skips the entire relationship with the plant. Sure, the species has earned some big prestige, like the Royal Horticultural Society's Award of Garden Merit,
Right.
but the real reward is philosophical. There is this profound satisfaction in taking a tiny seed, guiding it through freezing winters, protecting its delicate sprout phase, and, successfully coaxing out a rare, intricate beauty.
It's the difference between buying a painting and painting it yourself.
Exactly. It completely redefines what we consider gardening.
It really does. So Kesser and Steen aren't just doing a weekend chore. They're setting a 5-year botanical clock in motion for Tante Grun's garden, using crushed eggshells and winter frosts to basically orchestrate nature at a micro scale.
It's an amazing project.
It is. And it leaves you thinking. The next time you see a beautiful, complex flower, consider the invisible years of freezing winters and quiet, vulnerable growth it endured before blooming.
Yeah.
What else in your life might just be in its invisible grass phase right now, waiting for the right season to bloom?